Imagine waking up on a seemingly ordinary morning. You grab your keys, head out the door, and start your car. Everything feels normal. But then, something impossible happens. As you approach the first intersection, you press the brake pedal. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. The pedal goes to the floor, or perhaps it feels stiff and unresponsive. Your car continues to roll forward, picking up speed. Now, multiply that by millions. Across cities, highways, and country roads, every single car, truck, and bus suddenly loses its ability to stop using its primary braking system. This isn't a localized event. It's not a specific make or model. It's every vehicle everywhere all at once. Panic would erupt instantly. Drivers would slam pedals that offer no resistance, their eyes wide with disbelief and terror. Horns would blare, not in frustration, but in desperate warning. The familiar symphony of traffic would devolve into a cacophony of impending disaster. Intersections, the nervous system of our road network, would become ground zero. Cars would sail through red lights, unable to yield or stop. Collisions would be inevitable and widespread. Low-speed fender benders would become high-speed impacts as vehicles couldn't slow down. Highways would transform into terrifying roller coasters. Cars traveling at speed would have no way to decelerate for traffic, exits, or curves. We take our brakes for granted. They are arguably the most critical safety system in any vehicle, far more important than airbags or seatbelts in preventing an accident in the first place. Modern braking systems are incredibly sophisticated. They rely on hydraulic pressure to force brake pads against rotors or drums, converting kinetic energy into heat. Anti-lock braking systems, or ABS, prevent wheels from locking up, allowing drivers to maintain steering control while braking hard. Electronic stability control systems often work in tandem with the brakes. Without this complex interplay of mechanics and electronics, a car is simply a heavy object in motion with very limited ways to stop safely. So, if the primary brakes fail, what options are left? Drivers would frantically search for alternatives. Engine braking, downshifting to use the engine's resistance, would be one method, effective at lower speeds or on inclines, but insufficient for rapid deceleration from high speeds. The parking brake or emergency brake is another thought. However, it's typically designed only to hold a stopped car or provide minimal stopping power at very low speeds. Engaging it at speed could cause a spin. Some might try steering into soft ground, bushes, or even deliberately sideswiping objects or other vehicles in a desperate attempt to scrub off speed. Friction would become the only friend. Rubbing tires against curbs or barriers, if available, would be attempted, often with unpredictable and dangerous results. The scale of destruction would be immense. Crashes wouldn't just be common, they would be the norm. Vehicles would pile up in intersections, on highway off-ramps, and anywhere traffic typically slows down. The sheer momentum of cars unable to stop would create devastating chain reactions. Emergency services would be overwhelmed instantly. Ambulances and fire trucks, also potentially brakeless, would struggle to navigate the chaos. The economic impact would be catastrophic. Millions of vehicles damaged or destroyed, infrastructure like bridges and barriers compromised. And tragically, the human cost would be staggering. Injuries would range from minor to severe, and fatalities would be widespread. Amidst the horror, there might be moments of dark, absurd humor. Picture someone trying to stop their SUV by deploying a parachute out the window. Or perhaps a driver attempting to use their floor mats as makeshift friction devices against the tires. The sheer futility of some attempts would be almost comical, if not for the context. Imagine the news headlines: "Nation grinds to a halt as pedals become useless," or traffic reports consisting solely of collision locations. This hypothetical scenario, while extreme, serves as a stark reminder. It highlights our absolute reliance on critical safety systems we rarely think about until they fail. It underscores the importance of regular vehicle maintenance, especially brake checks. Worn pads, low fluid, or failing components aren't just inconveniences. They are serious safety hazards. It also makes you appreciate the layers of safety engineering in modern cars, even the basic ones. Every component plays a role in getting you from point A to point B safely. How would such a day conclude? Eventually, cars would run out of fuel, crash, or be abandoned. The roads would become graveyards of metal. The world would effectively stop moving by car. Supply chains would break down. Commuting would become impossible. The silence after the initial chaos might be deafening, a stark contrast to the usual hum of traffic. A world without working brakes is a world paralyzed by fear and destruction. While a simultaneous global brake failure is the stuff of fiction, the principle is real. Brakes are non-negotiable. They are the unsung heroes of daily transportation, allowing us control over powerful machines. Their importance cannot be overstated. So next time you press that pedal and your car smoothly comes to a halt, take a moment to appreciate the vital technology doing its job. Because the alternative is a scenario none of us ever want to experience.